Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. Well, hello. It is Saturday, the 11th of October. Now, I have seen a lot of discord going around at the moment when it comes to Harry and Meghan and their appearance at the World Mental Health Day Gala, where they were presented with a humanitarian award. Now, I've done a video on this yesterday. I've put a link up in the right hand corner if you want to go and have a look at it, where I basically say that they've paid for it, blah 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 blah, and it was a joke, really. And there seems to be a divide on people's opinions on whether or not Harry looked miserable. He did. And whether or not he absolutely hates Meghan Markle's guts. I've seen a lot of people debate this on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube, and they're using very selective videos. Now, on the face of it, when I looked at the videos of the red carpet, or not the red carpet, but you know, when they were coming in and ushered in, I suppose it is the red carpet, there does seem to be a level of frostiness. Now, I'm always about authenticity on this channel, and I'm also about transparency. I will never go with the grain if I do not believe it, but I will always give you an unbiased opinion. I will always present you with the facts and let you guys decide. Now, on the face of it, there are elements, if you look at some of the videos that are being put out there, where Harry is not smiling, he's not looking at her, she's looking at him adoringly like she always does on these kind of event red carpet things. And he's just blanking her, staring at the cameras going clickety clickety clack, which is ironic, seeing as that he has very famously said that gives him trauma. Now, at first glance, if you are only presented with these videos, you might think, oh, God, he hates her. And I'll be honest, I had a look at those videos and thought, wow, that's frosty. But what we're not being shown is this video, where they're actually interacting very lovingly. Now, I am not stupid. I know that everything that Harry and Meghan do is manufactured to make it seem like everything is perfect in their world. They have created this very controlled publicity persona of themselves, that they are always saying how happy they are, they're always bragging how happy they are. They've got to make sure that the world knows just how happy they are. And I've always said, if you have to harp on about how happy you are, you're not genuinely deep down happy. Now, as you can see in this video, you can see he's got his hand on her lower back, he's looking at her, she's in her element, and he's very smiley. And on her Instagram, and I will tell you the reason why I think she's posted this, she has posted 13 hours ago, Happy World Mental Health Day to the man who always keeps me laughing. And they're laughing and they're giggling. It's very staged, it's very artsy, it's very weird, quite frankly. And here's what I think is going on. Personally, I think that there is an element that Harry was extremely uncomfortable at that event because of the recent shenanigans in Paris. This is just my theory. There was an element of he's not comfortable, and possibly they had a bit of a tiff about it. I would imagine they had. There was a lot of pursed lips from Harry, and at times Meghan looked uncomfortable, especially on stage. Now, I think this all reverts back to Paris. Now, people have been speaking to the media, and while we can't actually verify whether they are perfectly placed to speak on the matter, they have nonetheless spoken out. So the Daily Mail says one perfectly placed source says they are so astonished at this because both Meghan and Harry have turned down numerous invitations to attend events in Paris over the years. The reason given is always the same: the city's association with the tragic death of Diana. And a source has told the Daily Mail that there was always a hard line from Harry, especially a total blanket no. Harry said they would constantly make it clear that he would not go to Paris because of his mother. The Daily Mail is told that Meghan would explain when asked, I cannot go to Paris because of H's mum. And yet all of a sudden she's in Paris. Now, allegedly, one friend of Harry's has told Alison Boshoff, who works for the Daily Mail, that she's driving around in the city where his mother died. She knows exactly what she's doing. In their view, the visit said much about Meghan's need for attention, and they wonder what's going on with her and Harry. Now, A spokesperson for Meghan has told People magazine, which is her preferred outlet to speak, that she was brought to Paris through pure and simple adoration for Piccioli, who is now heading up Balenciaga. The spokesperson for Meghan said over the years the Duchess has worn a number of designs by him. They have worked closely together, collaborating on designs for key moments on the world stage. She has long admired his craftsmanship and modern elegance, and tonight was no different. This evening reflects the culmination of many years of artistry and friendship reflected in her support for his new creative chapter at Balenciaga. And while she has, in fact, worn his outfits, she has also worn others more so than him. I suspect that this was put out because of the backlash that she is getting because of her association with Balenciaga. Remember, carefully curated PR image. And I believe that is exactly why that Instagram video was posted yesterday of them goofing around, black and white, very artsy, controlled. Everything about her is controlled PR image, what she puts out into the world. They've got this persona that must be upheld at all times. She's seen the backlash. She's seen everything everybody's been saying that, oh my God, he hates her. And this is in retaliation. She's done this numerous times. She did it with the baby video. I mean, that twerking video in hospital was just to shut people down, and it didn't work anyway. It really, really didn't, because those rumours have plagued her for years and years and years. Yet this was her way, because she's now got this public platform. She can speak out in the only way that she knows how, which is carefully created tidbits to control the narrative. She's doing this again. That Instagram arty video of her and Harry is to try and silence people who are saying Harry hates her. They're done. And a lot of people are saying that. My personal opinion is I don't think this is the end. I don't think, and a lot of people are going, oh my God, they're going to get divorced. I don't think that's the case. They've got too much invested to get divorced at this particular time. And I've always said for many, many, many years, it's not if, it's when. Because maintaining a relationship with a narcissist is extremely toxic and damaging. And at some point, it's got to end. So I believe we were seeing these two conflicting sides on the red carpet. Was Harry being exceptionally angry. He had to go. There was no way of pulling out. They had to put this public persona. They were both given the award. They have a duty to the charity that they are standing with. So therefore, they went together. They put on a somewhat essence of unity. But we all know that when you are livid with somebody, that mask slips, and you can't always maintain that element of everything's fine, smile, smile, smile. It slips through, and I think that's what we're seeing here, because we've got those conflicting bits of evidence of Harry, and he does look incredibly angry, and then Harry and Meghan being a little bit more tactile on the red carpet. Then we have this controlled image being put on Meghan Markle's Instagram to shut down everybody saying, oh my God, he hates her. Again, it's controlled. It's what she wants you all to see, that everything's fine, everything's rosy, they're all in love, but it's too controlled and artsy. Effectively, it is a managed PR strategy to shut down everybody and to make sure that we all know just how much in love they are, when we have seen evidence on the red carpet that everything's not quite as it seems. So I think that is what is going on here. Remember, Meghan hasn't really had a way to clap back at the backlash that she has received over the last 5 to 7 years since marrying Prince Harry, or starting a relationship with Prince Harry. She has one now. She has her Instagram. So she can carefully control the narrative, or so she thinks. But it is so obvious when she does do this. She thinks she's being authentic when she just comes off as inauthentic and tacky, quite frankly, and we can see through it a mile off. Now, those that have followed me for a while will know I always try and bring two sides of the story. I will always try and put my opinions. I won't go with the grain. I will always be me, honestly. Do I think Harry hates Meghan? No, not at this particular moment. No, I think he's exceptionally angry with her, and that has shown on elements of that red carpet and at the event. He also, interestingly enough, when on stage, he spoke first. He didn't introduce Meghan. He always introduced Meghan, but he didn't. He just stopped talking and then she stepped up to the microphone. That is exceptionally unusual. What I think is happening is that he's incredibly angry and probably hurt and confused about why Meghan Markle would do this, but he had an obligation to go to that event. You know, I always say what I see and give you my opinion on that. And I hope that you can see that I've tried to bring both sides and a reason why I think that way. But more importantly, I would love to know what you all think about that. Do you think it's in the post? Do you think it's on the cards? Do you think this was the nail in the coffin? Harry's had enough. That was it. Done, dusted. Or do you think that this is just another step in a controlled narrative of a PR strategy? Or do you think this is all manufactured? This is all to get publicity and everybody talking about them, which could also be a thing. What do you think of the very controlled narrative of that very cheesy Instagram post? Why on earth, when talking about World Mental Health Day, would you gush over your husband? That doesn't sit right with me either. As always, I would love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.